bread eaten in secret have pleasures. Because if you steal the water, there's a way you eat something that is stolen. It's not your own, so there's a way you eat it with. I want to be very raw this night. Okay, let's read together, everybody. 1, 2, go. Continue now. The man that eats it does not know. There's something about the man who eats it. But he knoweth not that the dead are here, and that her guests are in the depth of hell. Now that you are married, look at your wife. You are not interested in sleeping with your wife, because actually the yearning of the flesh is not sex, it's disobedience. The moment it is legitimate, it becomes boring, because the real appetite of the flesh is to disobey God. If anything becomes legitimate, the devil don't want it. So it was, you see all this gym your body is doing, that you say, I don't know, me, God know that I like. A time will come, you will realize that it is not really the acts that you like. It is the illegality around it. So a man, because he is hiding and carrying out actions that borders around fornication and adultery, there is a level of passion he gives to it, and commitment and attention. This is where many ladies get it wrong. And if you listen to me, take my advice this night. Many of these people who are cheating around, sleeping around, put them in a family, put them with a wife, put them with a man, and you will see that after a while, in fact, I don't want to mention name, but there's a very popular spiritual leader. Recently, his wife just divorced him. Guess what her reason is? That he's too good for her. That the marriage has become boring because he's too good. Why are ladies attracted to bad boys? I'll tell you why. I feel like I'm not qualified to teach these things. So what I'm doing this night, I'll just pinch somewhere, leave it run, pinch. The day I get married, stolen waters, they may appear sweet, but the dead, because actually that provision of violation of God's law that you have entertained, it has exposed your household. This is where many of us don't know yet that we have been seduced by the world into damnation and condemnation. Meanwhile, the essence of my teaching tonight is not to amplify the areas of our mistakes, because I will balance it in the next 10 to 15 minutes. You may have made a mistake and allowed yourself to fall into fornication or adultery in the days of ignorance. And you may have exposed yourself to certain acts that does not in any way tally with God's demand and God's expectation for your life. What do you do going forward if mistakes has been made? Because I can guarantee you, if a man marries a virgin, the only standard she knows is her husband. I counsel people every day of the 365 days of the year. I counsel many people. Over 90% of the cases in most counseling sessions are sexually related. Marriages that have 1 or 2 issues about infidelity. The number of people cheating in marriage is alarming. What happened? How did you get into this thing? It was a momentary lapse of judgment. Meanwhile, every time you violate God's law, you create an opening for Satan. And every time Satan has an opening around any space, he has a stake. This is how children are born with strange proclivities and appetites. There are, I think I've shared with you guys, there was a case in Sabo Jari. A nursery 2 boy was raising the skirt of his classmate inside toilet. He knew already at that age that such activities are done in secrecy. So he made sure they went to the toilet, and he was raising the skirt of a fellow nursery too. When that one gets to 200 level, tell me who he will be. Who taught him? Nobody. It's follow come. It's an original charger. It's part of the programming. You see what David said? David says, behold, I was shapen in iniquity, and in sin did my mother bear me. This is his defense when Nathan came to resist him as regarding his sin with Uriah's wife and how he killed Uriah. Our compromise does not affect us alone. Our seed becomes victims of our compromise. They start struggling with appetites, with inclinations that they should have no business struggling with. What do you do if you have violated the laws of God? Meanwhile, Hollywood is working night and day, working non-stop to continue to shift ancient landmarks. Now, because of how much we have embraced the Western culture, dating in our generation is equivalent to intimacy. You see two people say they are dating, they are sleeping with themselves, and they don't think it's wrong anymore. Even Christians, how many people who come out to wed, the sister wore a white gown? Does that gown reflect your... This one slept with this one, that one slept with this one slept with this one now married who this one slept with, that one married this. So it's just a web, a very crazy web. Before you know it, the spiritual consequences of violating these laws begin to set in. And then you see these things, and people want to start blaming demons. There are many people, what you need right now, to be honest, you need rehabilitation. You don't need to date anybody. You just need to stay away from any dating for a while until God fix you. If not, you are a damage to anybody you are meeting. How can a brother meet a sister, an innocent sister raised in the way of the Lord, from a very godly family? She went for NYSC. That's all. They met in camp. Well, when she went to NYSC, one strange brother that came from one federal school. No, you're not the one. I'm not pointing you. Relax. Brothers, within 6 months, Jesus Christ exposed her to things the devil has never gotten a hold about. This is why there are some relationships that are agents on assignment. They were never meant to be your husband or your wife. They were only supposed to introduce you to an addiction. That's all. The moment that is done, mission accomplished. Then they walk out of your life and leave you to struggle for the rest of your life. Some of you, the things I'm sharing with you this night, you are honest enough to do an appraisal. The moment they left, that their action did not leave. This is what they brought. This is their real mission. They came to plant this appetite in your life. Godliness still remains the most beautiful and safest place to live. You don't know the beauty of holiness. People can look at you and gossip you and badmouth you and say you are not exposed, you are not civilized. Holiness is a safe space to live, where you and your wife giving to each other. You know how special it feels to know that you have one human being that is totally dedicated to you and you alone. You don't need to be checking phones every night, be searching, be investigating. Are you a detective? I don't want to go into talking about sex tonight, about the impact of that action on the soul. But you will see that of all the sins, there is this particular impact immorality has on the soul of a man. It will deaden your capacity to receive spiritual things. Immorality will make you spiritually inert. So all you will be is like a vessel just walking. The capacity to connect, like your antenna. The way you have a transistor radio with an antenna. Immorality damages the antenna. So you cannot pick signals. You will just be feeling tired, exhausted, demoralized, guilty, and condemned perpetually. Then a time comes when you journey on the path of immorality. Your guilt will be lost. When you come to that place, weep because you are gone. There will be no more guilt. Then, no more guilt. Nothing pricks your heart that you need to make your way right with God. When you begin to enjoy sin, know that you are attaining a reprobate mind gradually. Then, when you enjoy sin to a while, you will graduate from enjoying sin. You will start planning sin. It is at that point, the tomorrow your eye have not seen, you have factored sin into it. So you say, by the grace of God, I will travel tomorrow to Zaria. You need God's grace to see the tomorrow. But the tomorrow you need God's grace to see is in iniquity you have factored into it. As at that point, every expression of you is iniquity. I want to conclude tonight because I see how heavy our faces look and how offended my sermon tonight has made us feel. I have no apologies for the things I've shared. And I want to reemphasize that this is the only way we can make spiritual progress. The way you grow in righteousness, you can also grow in rebellion and you can grow in iniquity. One bottle of Gouda will not remain a bottle of Gouda forever. Appetite will grow and the capacity to carry more will be added. When you are a creature of lust just fraternizing with pornographic content, a time will come, it will not be enough to watch pornography. You will begin to practicalize the things that you have fed your mind and fed your soul. So everybody will grow. Either you are growing in light or you are growing in darkness. And whatever you have entertained, it has capacity to affect the outcome of your life as a whole. For those of us who have made one mistakes at one point or another, for those of us who have entertained certain layers of departures from God's ordinance, maybe you have gone into immoral relationship with one or two persons and now it's looking like you are an addict, you cannot go without sex. You need to come to God as you are. You need to open, you need to present your helplessness and present this very sensitive matter before him. Because the truth is, you will never be satisfied. I've met too many people who have journeyed that path to know that if there's any advice I have for you now, this is what I will tell you on this matter. It will affect your rest in tomorrow. It is better that two novices who don't know anything marries each other and then they begin to learn themselves by themselves. But when you go and carry a slave queen who is a PhD holder, you will not these things, they are heavy matters. One of the things you will begin to battle with is that your report card every morning, because they paste results every morning. Some people, it's after 5 years, you understand what I've said now. Your report card every morning is that you did not pass. You did not pass. You say, Kai, you failed. You failed. At Kai, you didn't meet cutoff mark. Then you start seeing men being put under pressure. They begin to engage all kinds of drugs and then they develop high BP and they die. If they probe, what killed you? You say, I died because I'm a man. If you have not picked anything from my message, I was not talking to you. Take your place. Take your place. Take your place. Take your place. Hey, have your way. Hey, have your way. Please listen. Tell yourself, I insist on God's methods. Say, I insist on God's methods. I wish I could take maybe 10 minutes to do a short relationship charge, but time is not on our side. So what we do is that I will make out time to dwell particularly on war against kingdom marriages and connections. This is not that teaching. I just wanted to share on discerning the will of God. Have we been blessed?
Yes, sir.
Have we been blessed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I know why some people are not answering. Let me tell you how to come out from mistakes, if mistakes have been done. And when soul ties have been established on account of the linkages we have established with the people we have exposed our souls to. Because that's what sex does. It gives access to spirits and to the souls of individuals to bond together. Now, when you have journeyed that part, the truth is you have no business entering any relationship any moment. You need to be rehabilitated by the Spirit of God. I will tell you how. The average outcome is that this person is dating this person broke up with this person. Before this person broke up with this person has already been seeing the sign that this person is pulling out. This person has already started talking to this other person, so that before this person will break her heart, she will be the one that will even break him, because at the end, amen. Don't pretend. This is what, see, I know what you are doing. Once they start suspecting that guy, the communication is reducing. What they'll do is that they'll start saying hi to that other person who has been on standby. So what time did you have to heal? What we have now is not even people who broke up. It's people who switched. You don't deal like this. My brother, sorry, I forgot to tell you. I'm no longer with Shegun. I'm now with Peter. Somebody saw you last month and now saw you after 1 month. And say, how is Shegun doing? You say, oh, sorry. I forgot to tell you. You need to be rehabilitated. Take a time, the reason for that time is to heal. It's for yourself. You need to find yourself. You need the impact of that person's behavior and the exposure that it brought you into, and the fraternity with disobedience. You need to make peace with God. Not to sharply enter another arrangement, and then the devil is plunging us into higher and higher levels of departure from the ordinance of God. This is the first step somebody needs to do. Take a while. Some of you, the relationship you are currently in is molded by abuse. You have been abused from your previous relationship, so you use this as a rebound. The reason why you are here is not because you really love this person. You just needed to get back at this other person. And so your whole life is now on an auto mode of you are not even in control anymore. Sister, brother, you can come out. You can come out. You can put a full stop to that narrative. Henceforth, I will not violate my body. No man will know this body, only the person I'm married to. The moment you take that stand, that is the first method, the first step towards attaining that healing that you need. So you separate first. No need to enter any relationship that's putting you under pressure and say, if you love me, you have to prove it. Just come out from all the drama first. See, listen. There are many people that don't know the last time that they loved themselves. Your own is to be loving people. You love this, you love, and they are not loving you back. So just take a while for your own self. Enjoy your own company. I asked one brother that was telling me that it's not easy. I said, okay, this thing you are saying now. So people like me, who are supposed to have died by now,